Being a college athlete is generally the end goal of so many young aspiring athletes with the hopes of getting an athletic scholarship at university and pursue the passion of playing their sport professionally. However, I've noticed that there are many aspects about being a college athlete that no one really talks about, and I wanted to make a whole video on the harsh reality of being a college athlete. Hey, I'm Marcos, and you guys probably know me as that swimmer from the morning routine video that randomly blew up, which I very much appreciate. But for those who don't, I am a college athlete, or technically I was a college athlete, specifically on the Calvin swim team. And I know you guys' time is very valuable, so let me go straight to the point. I wanted to divide this video into 3 sections. One is the pre-life of a college athlete, one is the present life of the college athlete, and one is the post-life of a college athlete. Make sure you stick to the end of the video to see how all 3 parts are related. First of all, despite common beliefs, there's actually not a lot of money in college sports. As one of my viewers nicely pointed out in my previous video, scholarship availability varies by sport, but only Division I non-Ivy schools are allowed to provide athletic scholarships, and the vast majority of scholarships available will not even cover half of tuition. I mean, statistically speaking, only about 2% of high school athletes make it to NCAA Division I, and only about 1% of high school students receive any sort of athletic scholarship. So if you ever dream of going to college on a partial or full athletic scholarship, beating 98% of other athletes in your sport around the country is only enough to get you into NCAA Division I, much less receive any financial aid. You can see where the problem starts, as so many of these athletes work their entire life and retire through high school, sacrificing so much only to not be able to enter into college athletics and pursue their goals. As you may have seen from the billion day in the life videos that I've posted on my channel, which if you haven't already, I recommend checking them out. They're pretty good if I say so myself. But our life as a college athlete tends to be quite different from that of a regular student. And many of you guys agree that we have a harder schedule, while others think it's overrated and we're just a bunch of crybabies. But I think it's safe to assume that we have a busier schedule than that of a normal student. This is what my schedule looks like as a D1 swimmer, and I know a lot of other sports that have an even crazier schedule. In a week, I have 3 morning swim sessions from 6 a.m. to 7:45 a.m. and 3 afternoon sessions from 2:15 to 3:30 p.m. On top of that, we have 5 hours of gym, 2 extra hour at 45 swim sessions, and to top it off, another 2 hours on Saturday of swimming. Apart from that, we have many meets during the school year that overlap with classes. So we gotta prepare ahead of time for the days that we're gonna miss because of the competition. And then afterwards, we're gonna have to ask the notes for our classmates, from the professors, and you know, it's a whole, I mean, okay, look, I don't wanna make this video of just me complaining, but hear me out for just a second, all of this makes sense. This is a graph that plots the energy of a person depending on the time of the day. So we have the graph of a normal college student, you know, a typical steady decline throughout the day, nothing unusual. And here's that same graph, but for a student athlete. So we have less time to spend in a day, and we end up with less energy. And Marcos, how has this got to do with anything? I'm glad you asked. Less time plus less energy equals less opportunities to do the stuff and activities we like to do outside of academics and athletics. For example, like running this YouTube channel, which by the way, so if I can't post a video on time or regularly on this channel, note that I'm trying my best, and we should join forces and contact my professors and the coaches so that they give me less work to do so I can post more YouTube videos. Yeah. But not doing other activities outside of sports or school is also a fantastic way to just burn out from your sport and not want to do it any longer. And I've seen this happen to many athletes in college already. But most importantly, with less energy and less time, what is the main part of being a student athlete that gets affected? That's right, the student part. The stereotypes that athletes are dumb is completely not true. I mean, we just need a bit more time and a bit more energy to understand the same concepts as a regular student would. But remember the graph I showed earlier? These are the only time we can study without sacrificing recovery to perform at our peak during practice. But there's not enough energy, so what we end up doing is pushing it back. This leads to bad grades, and oftentimes many college athletes switch majors to an easier one instead of pursuing the one they wanted to from the beginning, just so that they have more time to focus on their athletics, and so they remain their eligibility to compete for the university. The results of doing so normally don't affect a college athlete's life during college, but the consequences definitely trickle in afterwards. happens to college athletes after college. I kind of touched on this on my last video.
Where do most student athletes, swimmers to be specific, go after college?
It depends. Some go pro, some just join regular 9-to-5 job. Just depends on how good you are.
And let me just clarify that a bit more. Less than 2% of college players move on to become professional athletes. This is a staggering low number, and it gets worse. It depends on the sport, but I'm going to be talking more about swimming because that's what I know best. Even if you go professional in swimming, most of the times it's still not enough to earn a living. And many professional athletes in the swimming world also have a day job to maintain their sports career. But what about the 98% of college athletes that don't go professional? So what happens to all that time and energy sacrificed, all that major you changed, or that internship experience that you missed out on because you had to train over the summer? So we were always told when we were younger that hard work pays off, that what comes around goes around. But in this case, hard work doesn't always pay off because everyone is putting in the work, but only 2% of them get something out of it. So this is like a paradox, right? If hard work always pays off, but in this case hard work doesn't pay off, then why put the hard work to begin with? I know obviously it's not all about going professional. Many athletes, including myself, I'm never, realistically speaking, never going to be good enough to become a professional athlete, much less make a living out of it. But this isn't going to stop me from putting in the effort and from trying to be better every single day. But I thought it was an interesting concept to bring up.
Look, there's a whole group of students watching me record this video. Let's go.
And while a lot of recruiters look for student athletes because of their soft skills such as hard work and determination, it's hard to hire someone purely off their soft skills without having any actual technical skills, which a lot of college athletes miss out on during their career. And lastly, a lot of college athletes suffer from an identity crisis after their 4 years at college because something they spend so much time and energy on all of a sudden disappears.
So what are you taking a picture of?
I'm taking a video, just like for entertainment.
Doing what?
I'm taking a video.
A video
It's just a nice frame. I was just talking, yeah.
I didn't think you're taking one of the ugly buildings.
No. And when you don't know what it's like to not be the best at something you do, as many college athletes suffer because they went through that rigorous process of getting into Division I in the first place, where they were the top of the class, top of the country even, in the sports they play, it can be a real shock to them once their collegiate career, finishes. And this kind of resembles a really common theme in what's called post-Olympics depression, where athletes post-Olympics need people to remind them of their worth beyond their athletic achievements and results, which, to be honest, is kind of sad, but is quite understandable, right? And then you have people who like to post college athletes in every single one of their video titles to a point where it's part of a personality trait and is going to be fucked once that person, hypothetically, cannot put that anymore. So, yeah. So after walking around the entirety of UC Berkeley's campus to film this video, I know this video was a bit different from what I normally do, and I will continue to post, happy, fun, exciting vlogs other than this depressing shit. But I was going through a little bit of a post-collegiate, career down myself, and I just had a lot of time to think about it, and I searched up online, and no one really seemed to talk about it. So I was like, you know what? Hey, I'll do it. So if you like these type of videos, sure let me know in the comment section below or liking this video. I really want to know what you guys think. What are your experiences or what are your thoughts on this topic? And leave them for sure in the comment section below. I'm really curious and I really want to read them. And subscribe as always to be the first to get notified when I upload a new video. And I guess that's it. Hope to see you in the next video. Okay, bye.